So a couple months ago, Ubisoft removed the reflex guard for assassins. So this means that you can focus on other parts of the game while not having to worry about holding your guard in a certain position. This change alone made it a lot better for a lot of assassin heroes, but it also plays a big part in parrying as well, because the main reason why vanguards were better at parrying, in my opinion, is because they didn't have the reflex guard. But now nobody has it. There's one thing you're going to want to change in your settings that will make you 100% better at parrying with any hero. I guarantee you'll start winning a lot more matches if you change the setting. So I have a berserker here, which is an assassin, and as you can see, I'm switching my guard around. So I switched it to the right and I've let go of the stick and it's still staying there. Now if the reflex guard was still here, it would automatically go to a neutral stance. And that's the beauty of reflex guard being removed for assassins. So the setting you want to change to make parrying a lot easier is your dead zone. So what this setting is going to do is going to make our dead zone a lot smaller, which will make it a lot easier to swap to the left or right or even up to the top. It'll just make that dead zone smaller, or even remove it if you want, and it'll make it a lot easier to block attacks coming in, which will ultimately make it a lot easier to parry attacks coming in. So what you're going to want to do is press start, go to your advanced controls, and after you go to your advanced controls, you're going to go down to fight controls tuning. Mouse has this as well. After you go to advanced controls, you go to fight controls tuning, then go to controller, and you'll see the circle to the right. And then you'll see another setting, the second from the bottom, and it'll be set to 20 by default if you haven't changed this. And you'll also see a circle to the right of that. And if I slide this to the left, that circle will get smaller. This circle is your dead zone. So imagine your analog stick is on the circle, and when you tilt your analog stick side to side, it's going to pass that zone of the circle. And that's what's going to decide whether you need to go from left to right or up and down. Making this smaller will make it easier to go to the left from right. That's why some people can parry things so quickly. And that's also why some things seem impossible to parry, because you just have your dead zone set to 20 and you can't parry it quick enough because you can't cross that dead zone quick enough. It's not impossible to parry lights. You just got to change this and you will be able to parry lights a lot easier. They don't tell you this in the tutorial. They don't tell you this anywhere in the game. You got to go and look for this. And you play For Honor a lot, or if you play any game that uses that right analog stick a lot, your controller might have a little stick drift. So if your controller has stick drift, you're going to want to avoid setting your settings to your settings too low, because if it's too low, your stick drift will kick in and it will lock your controller to one side. You don't want that to happen. So honestly, if you got like stick drift, I'll stick around like 4 or 5. But if you have a fairly new controller, or you don't have any stick drift, and you play a character that doesn't have a full guard, so if you don't play like Warlord, Black Prior, everybody with like shields that have full guards, if you don't play those characters, I would then set it to like 0 or 1. I know it sounds crazy, that's what I do. I'm able to parry pretty quick, but I wouldn't recommend this if you're playing a character that has a full guard stance or like a hidden stance like Nobushi. I would keep it to about like 2, 3, 4, around that area. But if you want to go crazy, you can set it to 1. And the setting right above this is the full block hidden stance angle. Now I mentioned this just a second ago with like Nobushi. She has a hidden stance. You got Warlord with his full guard with his shield. This changes the angle at which it activates the full guard. So if I slide this slider, it makes the bottom portion a little wider. So like if I maybe go down to the side a little bit when I go into full guard, it'll still activate it. But I don't really touch this because I don't play full guard characters a lot. I honestly keep mine fairly small because I don't go into it by accident if I go to the side. If you find yourself going into the full guard by accident, if you're going left for right, you can actually change this and it'll reduce that if you have stick drift as well. So you should be able to see a big change in your settings. So you should see a big difference with this change. If this video helped you out any, please let me know by hitting that like button. And if you want to see more For Honor videos like this, maybe even try hitting that subscribe button. I post content like this all the time. With that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next video.